David and I have known each other for 6 years now.
Correct.
You've been coming to the RTR for 6 years and always in this nice Dodge Caravan. Is that a Caravan?
No, it's a Town and Country.
Country.
That's the same thing, but
Yeah, just different name.
yeah, rebadged.
So, and finally we're going to get you on film. That's great.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to be here. Been admiring these talks for years.
Great.
And never thought that I would be interesting enough. I thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Well, you're doing something that I think everyone should consider doing. You're still working. You're young yet.
I am. I'm 59.
And working at your job and building up retirement.
Yes, I'm still working on my pension, and the benefits is the important part. That's why I'm still really there right now.
And where do you work?
I work at the San Diego Zoo.
And so you're not ready to go full time because you're still working. You need basically you need really the health insurance.
That's an important thing.
Right. And you're still married.
I am. I'm married 26 years.
And your wife has some health issues that you really got to have that insurance for.
It does. That's correct.
So, and there are a lot of you who are wanting to go and waiting to go. And so the solution for you is to take trips to kind of satisfy the itchy feet.
It does. It's really wonderful to get out here every year. And I love Quartzsite in January.
Right. And so how many weeks a year do you think you go?
Well, the longest I've been out in this at one time is 3 weeks.
Good. And so 59, and at 62, you're going to retire and draw Social Security and take your pension.
That's correct.
And we'll be on the road.
I am going to do that. I am 100% committed.
Good, good.
I know how to do it.
And after 6 years of traveling in the minivan, will you be in a minivan?
No.
No.
No, I would like to have a taller van, a roof to stand up in. I'm really intrigued with the Transit, the Ford Transit.
They're fantastic.
That would be my ultimate machine.
Yes.
Especially with the all-wheel drive now that just came out.
Yes.
Which will be in a couple, when I'm 62, will be a few used ones on the market. Maybe
Right.
I could pick one up then, and I'm saving for that.
Right.
As we speak. Every paycheck I get $200 goes to my next car fund. So
Good.
So when I paid this off, I just kept the payments going. So
that's fantastic. That's the way to do it.
So I have never missed it, and I'm watching my fund grow. So when the time comes, I can do it.
And you'll be able to pay cash and have the vehicle of your dreams.
I want to stay out of debt.
Right.
Stay out of debt. That's my key to traveling easily and not being tied down to paying that debt off.
Right. So one of the questions a lot of us have and feel when we think about going is fear. Will I be safe? And by taking all those little short trips, you're probably pretty confident and not have too much fear about it.
You're correct. I don't fret about that at all. I'm certainly going to check out my surroundings, especially in a city, and know where a good place to be is and not a place not to be is, just as important. But out in the wilderness, no, I don't worry about anything like that.
Right. And I think that's a real advantage to taking the trips beforehand. If you had any fear, which you probably never did, but if you did, that would work them out beforehand. One of the unique things about your situation is that your wife knows that already that she doesn't want to live the life you want to live.
That's correct. Yeah, she just doesn't understand my fascination with this van dwelling crowd, but she loves that I love it, and she encourages me to go out and do this and make the bonds. She knows that I have bonds with these people, van dwellers. They come to San Diego and we get together. We go to breakfast. I'll get them into the zoo. I go camp beside them sometimes, and there's been several. Because as you have said, you come to the RTR, you make lifelong friends.
Yes.
And you know what? That has been proven true for me with RTR, and I love that.
Right. It's community, and that just, to me, that's the icing on the cake of living and traveling in a van. There's as much community as there is the traveling.
There is community.
So,
I knew my neighbors last night all by name.
Right.
I don't know all my neighbors by name at home.
No.
I'm close, but wow, it's a lot of just waving
Right.
in my neighbors. We don't really have a lot of connection,
Right.
but I do have connection out here.
And
around
so
camp.
when you and your wife both reach retirement age and you're ready to not work anymore, you're going to go ahead and travel in your van, and she's going to stay home.
Correct.
And you're both happy with that because you love each other so much.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that's a question I get fairly often, is if there's that irreconcilable differences. Some people manage it, and kind of basically that's what you're doing. Really extended long trips, but occasionally coming back together.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see being away a month at a time. Probably not a lot longer than that because things are going to break around the house, but
So you're just going to find a balance.
I am.
Good. And that's how I know a lot of people do it. I have friends who will come to the desert for the, and surprisingly, it's as often the woman as the man. In your
Oh,
case,
yes.
it's you, but as often it's the woman. She'll come to the desert for the winter and then go home and they'll just have their lives in the summer.
I know several too
Yeah.
that
So
do that.
there are options.
Men and women both.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There are options ahead of you, and so you're going to make it work.
I am.
Good. Good. Well, why don't we take a quick look at your van?
Okay.
Well, it probably won't take more than a couple hours to go the tour.
Probably not.
No, probably not.
Probably not. It's a pretty simple build. It's
Yeah.
a very, very, very simple build.
Right. So let's take a look, folks.
This is the third build that I've done on this. The first year you saw me, I had a unique thing, and you thought, that's a great idea, but it didn't work in the end, was I used backboards. I used to be an EMT, and they went away from using wood backboards a long time ago, so I took some really good conditioned ones that were available, and I laid those across my back seat that folds up, a fold stow and go seats in the back. They go up, and then I would put the backboard with a bucket across the front, and I had almost 6 feet of bed space up there, and then I had all the trunk space in the back. But it was a little tight, and that didn't work in the end. And then I tried an air bed the next year, and that didn't have any storage underneath. So what I've done now with this is I just have a 4x8 sheet of plywood that I've cut back to 7 feet, because while you have 4x8 on the floor, when you're up higher, there's not 4x8. So 4x7 is what I have on the board space. I just have a folding table, the 2x4 table that goes right in the trunk space. I have removed the back seats completely, as you can see. So I have, all this is my trunk.
Yeah, with a stow and go, that's an enormous amount of space.
It is. This is my pantry, and it also comes out and just goes underneath in the basement, underneath the rest of the front forward space. Last year I had a memory foam, and that was, when it got cold, it got hard as a rock.
It gets hard.
Really hard. And also it took out a critical thing that I really didn't like, which was headroom.
Right.
So, because that 4 inches of foam takes up space, and so I am at a critical point here where I can sit up with my seat up, lean forward a little bit. I use it as a backrest, and I can have my head fully sitting up and doing my iPhone or reading, and it works out great.
You got to lounge inside the van.
I can lounge.
You gotta, yeah.
I can.
And so what is this? This is just this is a thermarest, an self-inflating pad.
Yeah, it's just a Costco. I got
Oh.
it for $80. It's a 4 foot wide, so it's double the length. I have thermarest at home too, but I thought I'd try this out because I wanted to see the double mattress wise. And also I was experimenting for maybe I do fly somewhere to another city sometime and I rent a minivan. And then this pad could be my back of my bed. Say I went to New York or something, I could take this in my travel bag and then I have my bed when I get to the other facility.
But this one is self-inflating, or do you have to blow it up?
It self-inflates to a point and then you top it off.
Right, that's the way they all work.
Yeah.
And it's insulated.
It is.
Right, that's the key thing,
It is
because otherwise
insulated.
they're cold.
Yeah. It is insulated, and I got it from Costco, and it was on sale for $80.
Right, and they usually is good
Costco.com,
stuff.
yeah.
Good quality.
There is a critical thing about the height on this, or the reason I did it with this, is because the buckets are 15 inches. So I have a 15-inch basement, and that works for me because then I can throw my bins underneath into the basement.
Right.
And also I have my 5-gallon buckets that I can use.
And what are you using a 5-gallon bucket for?
Well, that's
The same thing we're all using 5-gallon buckets for?
Yes, but I carry more than one because you can store things in it.
You sure can.
It also is my support in the front.
Oh, so you only have the table in back as a support for the bed?
Yes.
And then buckets in front?
2 buckets in the front. And also I have my 15 gallons, or 15 inches is the perfect number because my water jug fits in there. My ice chest fits at 15 inches. So everything's just snug and perfect.
Let's go up and take a look. Can we see it from the
yeah,
side?
we sure can. Come on over here. Here's just my simple ice chest. It's nothing fancy.
Right,
It's just a Coleman.
But for a 2-week trip, it's all you could possibly need.
Yes, exactly. And it happens to be right 15 inches, and it fits right under there. Or if I pull my bucket out, the ice chest will support it. And then my 5-gallon water just goes right under here too, and fits right in place.
Right.
And
these are the essentials. You just need ice and
Correct.
water and a bucket.
And I have my basement underneath with more pull-out drawer trays.
Very, very good. And how are you cooking? Are you cooking on the road?
I am cooking. I'm using a Road Pro for warming up pre-made things. And
A little 12-volt oven.
And I just am using little backpacker stoves right now, the jet boil to heat my water because it works really fast.
Yeah.
And then I have another backpacker stove just as well. So I'm just using the little butane cartridges right now.
Right.
I have a Coleman stove at home, but it's bulky.
Right.
I don't need it. It's for what I'm doing. This is perfect.
Right.
The Road Pro is really fun. I'm enjoying using that.
I've always loved a Road Pro.
Yeah.
Amazing amount of stuff you can make with one.
Yep, it is.
And because you're just taking trips, you probably don't have any solar.
I don't.
But you drive plenty, and that keeps
yeah.
everything up.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, that hasn't been an issue. I would like to get some solar. It'd be kind of fun to put some on here. I'm toying with the idea. It's getting cheaper and cheaper.
It's getting. Well, let's take a look inside the other door. It's probably just more storage, more of the same. So you're using your bucket for a bathroom?
I am using the bucket. It works really well. It's easily done. I just have a drape that I can put across my, I open my door here, and then I pull a drape across that I hook over here and then over here, and it just covers this triangular area right here.
And there's your...
And I have my little potty, and
And there's the infamous bucket, one of them. It sounds like it has several, storage and other things.
Correct. And then also in the basement, just another pull-out. This is my drape I was talking about. And my clothes. And so I'm traveling pretty light.
Pretty light, pretty minimal.
Very minimal.
But again, it's like a 2-week, a month trip, and that's all you need.
I'm very happy with it for now.
And when you finally go, you will be set. I mean, you'll have a pension, you'll have your health insurance covered, and brand new rig, built just the way you want it, and you'll be really good to go.
That's the plan. I am going to do this.
Right.
It's going to happen.
And that's, so many people end up out here, life circumstances just doesn't allow anything else, right on the edge. And if that's your only choice, then that's what you have to do. But man, if you can stay and work for a while, build up some money, build up a cushion, get things solved, that's so much better.
And I'm out here in between enjoying, so yes.
Right. And that gives you the light at the end of the tunnel.
It does.
Yeah.
It does, Bob.
Great.
Van dwelling is so much more environmentally friendly in the grand scheme. I find this to be true. You have one vehicle, you're not traveling long, hard distances because you're already home. You're not commuting.
Right.
It's wonderful. Carbon footprints on the true van dwellers is amazingly simple. How little water you need. A quart of water for washing yourself. I mean, that sounds so silly. A quart of water, really? But no, you really can do a lot with just a quart bottle of water. And it's so easy to heat it up. You're not, very minimal is the point. And it's amazing how little you really need to be happy. And the community is just outstanding.
Right. Very, very true. That's, and I don't, a lot of people don't want to hear it, and so I don't talk about it as much as I should, but it's the environment is one of the primary motivations for everything I do. And so I just agree wholeheartedly. It alone is enough reason, and just to be happier. So, and I think that's really true too. Well, David, thank you so much for sharing your home and your plans with us. I know it can't be easy talking about those personal things, but there are a lot of people out there that need to hear it. They're in your exact same situation. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
So welcome, Bob. Thank you for everything that you do.
Great. So folks, there you got it. I know you've been inspired.
Yeah.
If you have, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you later.